today I am with my friend slash colleague Claire. She has also a YouTube channel. Remember to go and check her channel out. And today we are going to be talking about some things that make us stressed while we are living in Italy, because some people think that living in Italy is just pasta, pizza, it's just wonderful paradise. Yes, but it's just not it. There are so many situations in which we are super stressed about, and today we have some titles here, and one by one we're gonna pick one up and talk about it. So, Claire, would you like to start?
Oh my gosh, yes. Let's begin. Okay. Oh, work.
Oh, mamma mia.
Let's begin with one of a good topic, shall we? Okay, so how much does work stress you out here in Italy?
Well, I think if we are talking about work specifically, it depends on how I think of it. Because if I overthink, it makes me stressed generally. But if we think about contracts, how to find a job and everything, well, it could be stressful because everybody knows that in south of Italy it's difficult to find a job, and even Sicilian people go to north to work to find a job because there are more job opportunities, and contracts are just confusing for me because there are so many types of contracts, and you start to work with determinato, which is like a limited time of work, like 3-6 months, and then you get your indeterminato one, which is like limitless time, and it's like a celebration in Italy, you know. When you get this contract, when you go home you take a cake and just go home and celebrate with your family, and so many doors open to you with that contract actually. So what do you think?
I think for me, like, it's stressful if I compare. If I compare the working world in Italy to that in the UK, it stresses me out beyond belief for contracts, because in the UK, we have indeterminato contracts as normal. Like every job you go for, you have this contract. Only if you apply for a particular job do you get like a determinato, but you know that from the beginning. So I think for the security kind of aspect, having an indeterminato contract is better, of course. But I kind of think as well for like pay and working conditions, if I'm comparing them, it stresses me out. There's a different mentality here. No, because there's a different mentality here for work. Like, people work in conditions that they shouldn't have to work in because there is this need for survival. And there is this need for security, and employers know this, and they take full advantage of people because of this. And I see this in lots of different sectors here in South Italy.
And don't you think it's all over the world in this way if you're working for a private company?
I think it depends. In other countries, employers can get away with less than what they get away with maybe here in Italy. I feel like, for example, in the UK, we have the minimum wage. We have different regulations in place to protect workers. Here in Italy, there isn't the minimum wage, and it often feels like there are less rights for workers, and you feel the disparity, like if you compare it in this way. But I just feel like the working culture here is so different. And I think it's really demanding. Do you?
Why?
No, I don't know if it's just for like the work we do or just because of how it is here. But people work very long hours here, in my opinion. Yes, they might close for like 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, but they work until 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night in a lot of places. And in the UK, if you have an office job, you finish at 5 or 6 o'clock.
For government or not? Also private ones?
Depends on what you do. But like, it's not normal that every single office would be open until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. It's not normal.
Okay.
Depends on what you do, of course. There are some places that do work longer hours. But I just feel there's a pressure here, a different type of pressure when it comes to work.
Well, if I need to compare with Turkey, yes, I think more like England. I remember my uncle was finishing to work at around 8 o'clock, but other than that, it's not normal to finish 8 because people usually, they have dinner at 6 p.m.
Yes.
That's another reason, because they finish the work, they
Yeah.
come home, they have dinner.
Yeah.
But here in Italy, we have dinner at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
because most of the people finish at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true actually.
It's a different, and okay, they might have 2 or 3 hours, in the afternoon, depends on what you do. But working later into the evening, it feels, I don't know, it just feels different, I think, sometimes. And yeah, just for the mentality, for like the contracts, the pay, I don't know. Like if I'm comparing it to the UK, I'm quite stressed. Like if I'm basing it on what I'm doing now and my life in Italy, I don't know, 5 out of 10, I think, for my stress levels.
Well, I don't have much experience as you do, because it's the first place that I have started to work. As I graduated, I came to Italy, and right after I started to work here, so I have only this experience. But from what I know, I could say like 5 out of 10 is okay, because it's not that easy.
No.
It's not that difficult.
I want to say this as well, because so many people will say you'll never find a job here. When I first came to Italy, in all of the expat groups that I kind of was in and listening to what people were saying, the number one thing they said is you won't find a job here. But I've worked here continuously for 6 years and never had a problem. And yes, I'm blessed, I guess, English speaker, it's easier to find a job as an English teacher, for example. But I think there are jobs here. It's just you have to apply yourself.
I agree with you. I mean, it depends on the person more than lack of job opportunities here. Yeah, totally. So we're in the middle.
We're in
here,
the middle,
guys.
Yes. Your turn. Take
All right. Okay. Mix. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Driving!
Oh my God. Why is it one stressful thing after another?
Oh my God. It's just terrible. It's like a jungle.
Yes, it is. Driving here is something I've never seen in my entire life. Like, people drive as if they are on the roads alone.
Yeah.
Oh, there's somebody next to me. I never realised I share the road with somebody else. Like, it's incredible.
It's incredible.
Like, my boyfriend says that indicators are like optional extras here.
Totally.
People just don't use them.
Totally. It's like they take their driving license from supermarkets.
Yes. Yes.
They just take and just go, and it's not important where you are or if you are with the other people driving on the road. No, and the roads are really narrow here, and there are so many bumps and holes and everything. So it's not very pleasant. It's not pleasant at all to drive here. Even like being a pedestrian is not nice here in Italy.
It's one of the worst experiences. I actually think it should come with like a kind of risk to life, because I'm telling you, like every time I cross the road here, I am like stressed for my life.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. And I'm quite strong, because you cannot stand at the side of the road and wait for the cars to stop, because you'll be there this time next year. But if you cross, you are always in the back of your mind thinking, oh my God, but what if they don't want to stop? Because I've had it that cars go around me whilst I'm on the crossing, I'm in the middle of the crossing, they go around me. I'm sorry.
And there's a gesture, Claire, now. This one.
Yes, yes.
People do this before, and cars stop.
No, people have done it with the umbrella before. This is the best. I need to copy this, because it creates even more distance between the cars.
So you're safe even more.
Oh my gosh. It's incredible.
Like everyday life in Italy, danger.
No, but come on, for pedestrians, there is a certain level of ignorance, because drivers park on the pedestrian crossings.
Yeah. And they do it even if you are walking there, like, you are in the wrong. You need to go over. Like, it's incredible.
And if you're disabled, I'm really sorry for you. If you have a child, I'm really sorry for you, because you have to walk in the road if you want to get around.
Yeah, zebra crossing is just another problem.
No.
I don't talk about Turkey, because in Turkey, people don't even know that it is a rule that they need to stop for a pedestrian.
But come on, I come from the UK with a highway code, which is a set of rules for the road. Like literally, when I go home, it is beautiful to go to the edge of the road, and before I've even put a foot out, the car stopped already. Oh my God, it's like heavenly to be in this situation.
Totally. Like you feel respected, you know?
Yes.
Because, for example, if it is the summer under the heat, you are walking to go to work, and some people are in their cars with AC and beautiful.
Yeah.
They don't even bother to stop for you, even if it is your right.
Yeah, it's just, it really infuriates me. This is one of the most stressful factors for me
Totally.
living here. And what about, like, for example, cars, the condition of cars here?
No, it's not important. If it is walking, it's okay.
No, I've seen shells, like literally without even like the frame of the car with wheels, and that's it, and it's okay. Like literally in the UK, that would never be able to happen.
No, because there are systems, right?
Yes, we have the MOT every year, the yearly check on the car to make it legal to drive on the road. If you fail this, you cannot drive your car.
Also in Turkey, like if you cannot pass just one thing, you just need to go and fix it and come back to check up on it.
But here it doesn't exist. You have cars with the wind mirrors hanging off. You have cars that are like shells, like they've been in some serious accident, but they're still on the road. It's insane.
Mamma mia, it's incredible.
No. For me, this is a +10
for
stress.
Like even when I'm I am in a passenger in the car, I get stressed. Like I don't even bother to talk about driving. I don't drive.
I'm a
crazy.
terrible passenger because I'm constantly like, there's a car coming.
Yes.
Look, they're not indicating.
Yes,
Look.
it's a stress.
Like, it's like next level stress.
It's a stress.
No.
And it's for some reason, believe me, it's not like out of nothing worrying, being anxious for something, but people are crazy. Also, they don't really pay attention. They go fast and they just, it's not a really pleasant experience here, especially here.
Yes.
So I think we give like more
than 10 plus 10.
Yes.
No. For me, it's the worst. One of the worst experiences. Not the worst, one of the worst experiences. Okay, my turn again?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, hello, Bureaucracy. Mamma mia, from driving to Bureaucracy. Okay, tell me about Bureaucracy. How much does it stress you out?
It stresses me out, like, I think one of the most. It's super slow. Even when you go to a government office with an appointment, you're lucky that you have an appointment. Other than that, like, you need to wait 1 hour.
Even 1 hour? If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Listen, I would go to the residency office here in Palermo, and you cannot make an appointment there. You turn up 7:30 in the morning, number 60 on the paper list that's stuck on the wall as a way to organise people manually, not organised through the office, but through the people waiting outside. It's incredible. It's insane.
It's literally incredible. There are people who are shouting your number for you to come in, like, 15. Oh my god!
No, it's terrible.
You know, like there must be a screen,
No,
showing up the number, and you go, you see, and you go in, and so on. And when you come in, there are like old computers.
Yeah, everything's back in time. There are like paper files. Like we are in 2024. Soon we are going to be in 2025. Please tell me why I'm looking at shelves of paper files. What if there's a fire? How do they retrieve all that information? It's gone.
They can't.
No one in Palermo exists anymore.
Another reason that nothing is working here because they can't figure out.
They don't remember what binder all the papers are in. No,
that's the reality. Oh my God.
It's insane. Like literally in the UK, the majority of bureaucracy is done online. Like you can sit in the comfort of your home and do the majority of things you need to do.
Amazing.
It's incredible. In Turkey, is it the same?
Also, most of things you can figure out online.
Yes.
Even when I was there, I was saying, oh, they are so slow. They don't work properly. But no. When I come here and I say, oh, wow, Turkey. Very good.
You know, I had to renew my passport whilst I was here in Italy, and this was just after the pandemic, and I was able to do it by sending it back to the UK, all online.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
My passport online. DHL back to the UK, returned back here, done. Here in Italy, there's this new thing that they're talking about doing the passport at the post office, as if it's some kind of like innovative technique. It's been happening like that for years in the UK.
Oh my God, terrible. I need to renew my permits
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's going
Well,
to be a war for me.
But you know, like, how sad is this? Like, I can have permanent residency now. I've lived here for 6 years, and I can change my carta di soggiorno from a 5-year to a 10-year because it's permanent. I have another year on my carta di soggiorno, the current one I have. I prefer to wait for that year to expire to do the change rather than go through the headache of the bureaucracy
Right now, yeah.
right now.
I know.
And that's how it is here. Like, you prefer to just wait
Absolutely.
rather than deal with the mess.
Absolutely. This is what I'm waiting for. It's going to expire in December, and we are in, let's say, October, almost October, and I'm waiting until the last moment. And it's not us, you know. We are usually very punctual people.
Yep.
We do the things in advance.
Yep.
But well, here we are.
No, because it's crazy. The bureaucracy, everybody talks about this in Italy, but they talk about it for a good reason. It is one of the things that lets this country down. There is so much bureaucracy. There is bureaucracy for everything.
Yeah.
That it ties itself into knots.
Yeah.
People don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely. For one thing, you need to go this office,
Yes.
that office, this office.
This is
that
like going back
office.
to like the 1980s. Like,
Yeah.
who has to do that anymore?
They need some technology, I think.
Yes.
But you know, it's also about the people who work in these offices.
Oh my God,
they
please.
are super old people.
No, but they're super rude the majority of times. Like, literally the rudest people I've encountered here in Italy are people who work in those kinds of offices. They talk to you as if you are something stuck under their shoe.
Absolutely. And it feels like they hate their
Yes,
life.
they hate everything.
Yes, they hate everything.
It's true.
I'm so sorry for their life, but I mean, if this is your job, you need to
Have customer service, no?
like smile a little bit.
No,
What did I do to you?
It's impossible for them. Like, I don't understand. If you hate your job that much, you need to change it or just retire. Like, it's not possible.
Yeah, we need some young people there, I
Yes.
think.
But they need more people as well, to be fair, because whenever I go to the residency office here, you have like 10 or 12 cubicles with only like 2 or 3 people working. Like, when you've got that 60 people outside
In the
list on the
queue,
wall,
yeah, right.
how is this possible with just 3 people working?
Everything's slowly.
Slowly, dopo
And
domani.
it's okay.
And let's not talk about the PEC emails.
Oh yeah, there's this option that we can. This is a government mail
Yeah.
system that when you send an email, they need to respond to you in 1 month, right?
Yeah, 1 month, 4 weeks, imagine.
Yeah.
But except it doesn't, sometimes it's 3 months.
Well, you know, this is how it works here.
Yes.
So-
Plus 10 again for the
Oh my God,
bureaucracy.
yeah, I have to say plus 10. I'm so sorry, but this is what we have
It
been
doesn't
through.
need to be so complicated.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
I find, and I have to say this as a whole, I find in Italy, life is often overcomplicated sometimes
Yeah.
for the simplest things. It doesn't need to be like this. We have technology, we have facilities that can make life easier. It doesn't need to be as complicated as it is.
No.
I think. Your turn.
Let's go. What is it? Public services.
Oh
Does it even
is there
exist?
anything good in this bra?
Oh my God, really? Oh, it's a really stressful situation here. So, public services, do you think it exists in Italy, in South Italy?
I'm not sure. Like, okay, let's talk about rubbish collection. This is like a problem, I'm sorry to have to say. In Palermo, you fight with the rubbish bins to walk on the streets. The bags are everywhere. The air smells of rubbish. It's disgusting.
Especially in summer with the heat, it really smells
No,
awful.
it's insane.
Even if with the like in the touristic places like Via Maqueda and so on, you don't see the trash.
No.
Okay, as a tourist, it's all okay for you, but as a resident, no. In the back street, we see a lot of. But I have to say that it depends which province you live in. So, where I live at the moment, we do differentiate the trash, and it is taken regularly. But in Palermo province, it doesn't, right? And you don't even differentiate it.
No, we don't. And this is a real shame because I used to live in Salerno and they were really strict on recycling. But here, it doesn't exist. And I've gone back, like, you try to recycle, like people try to do good because there are bins that you can take your paper to and your plastic to, but they're not collected. So the paper's like spilling out onto the streets and the plastic the same. So people just don't bother.
They're like mountains, guys. It's like no joking. It's incredible when you see it. it brings illness. It's not good at all. But it's also the Palermitan people. It's not somebody else. It's the people who come from here in this place that like, yeah, okay, even if they collect this trash today, the next day you would see the same thing, because people are not really respectful to their environment here. Unfortunately.
They're not. Like, you have the free service from RAP, who are the rubbish provider, well, collectors allegedly here in Palermo, and you can call them up and you can ask them to come and take a big piece of furniture or something similar. And it's a free service. You don't pay for this, but people don't bother. Instead, they dump refrigerators on the corner of a road or by the rubbish bins, and it's not my problem, someone will take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the mindset.
Actually, you pay the tax.
The tarry.
So this is included in that. You know, it's something that you paid for actually.
But do these people really pay for it? This is a whole other question.
Yes, totally. I don't
because
really
that
believe so.
That is a whole other system in Palermo. That's a mess. The
Yes,
tarry.
yes, absolutely. I don't think they pay for it.
No.
They don't even use it, so they say like, you can see a fridge on the street here.
Yes.
It's totally
a sofa
nice.
as well.
A mattress.
A
It's
mattress,
okay.
yes, no
Where do you
problem.
throw? In the street. Someone will
exactly.
take it.
Exactly.
Oh, mamma mia.
No. For me, and also not even just the rubbish, but the condition of the roads, the pavements.
Full of
they're
holes.
like jungles. Holes, and they're like jungles. Like literally at least waist-high weeds and bushes, to the point where I often walk in the road because I can't physically make it onto the pavement.
It is true, which is dangerous
Of
also.
course.
And you cannot walk. You need to play Super Mario. You need to jump on pedestrian way, because there are dog poop. Because people are not responsible for their own dogs. They don't even bother to collect their dog's poop. Like, it's incredible.
But you know, the irony is, would they let that dog poop in their home?
No,
No, of course
absolutely.
not.
In their houses, like that, you can lick their house.
I can eat off the floor.
Absolutely, but
Who cares
outside,
about
who
outside?
cares?
Somebody else's problem.
Yes, this is the mentality kind.
No, it's hard. Okay, for me, this is maybe like an 8 out of 10. It stresses me out when I'm outside of my house. When I'm in my house, I'm okay. So 8 out of 10 for me.
Me too, the same. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Oh, fashion and beauty.
Oh, it's an interesting topic, because
Yes.
when I came to live here in Italy, I noticed that people dress up a lot for each occasion, even if it is just going to the supermarket.
Yes.
They put on makeup,
Yes.
fully
It's like-
dressed up.
It's an occasion, like in the UK, and I don't agree with this. This is very chavvy behaviour, but people will go to the supermarket in pajamas.
Also in Turkey,
Oh
we
my
do
God.
that.
Not me, just to say, but people do. So yeah, here people care a lot about their appearance, definitely. And even like on a Sunday afternoon,
The catwalk.
the weekly catwalk show.
Oh yeah. In each
Yes.
city in Italy, there is the famous street in which the families, after Sunday lunch, they just dress up, put on their best suit and everything, you know, and they just go for a walk. You know, it's an
Yeah.
activity here.
It is.
What do you do on after
Sunday.
Sunday lunch? People go to walk on the street
Yes.
here.
It's true. It's an occasion. But I do like the older people and the way that they dress here. Like, they are super stylish. Like,
They
the
are.
Italian men with like the chinos, no socks with the shoes,
Amazing.
and are really, really stylish.
And it's not like the stylish as we would see today, you know. It's like the stylish with these eccentric colors, the suits and everything.
Blazers, yes.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Very nice.
Also, there's definitely more of a sense of like focusing back on appearance, like beauty treatments. Like, Italian women go to the hairdressers a lot more than in the UK. It's like a weekly ritual sometimes to have a blow dry.
Yeah, totally. I noticed this too. And it's like a moment for themselves, you know. They
Yeah.
enjoy doing this.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of Italian women like hair done. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
In Turkey, it's not like this. I mean, there are people who go often, regularly, even maybe, but this much
No.
in Italy, no, totally no.
It's the same in the UK. Like, you can, of course, go and have your hair done, but it's more if you're having your regular haircut or if you've got a special occasion.
Okay.
Not just like a weekly habit, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit different, definitely. But yeah, I think also with fashion, especially, and I don't know if you noticed this, but when I first moved here, I literally thought everybody here had like loads of money, because all I saw were designer handbags everywhere, like literally everywhere. And it started to make me feel a bit inferior, because back then I had like one designer handbag, that was it. And it was later on I realized that counterfeit goods are like a huge thing here.
Well, I know kind of about this thing because in Turkey, in Istanbul, we have the Egyptian Bazaar, and there are some shops that they sell dupes, almost original, like you cannot figure if it is fake or original. And I had some friends from Italy who told me that, Hande, I went there in Istanbul and I bought some Gucci bags to myself, and they are wonderful. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And it's interesting for me because, well, we are in Italy. Of course, there are so many famous fashion brands like Gucci, Chanel. Chanel is French, okay, but whatever, Dolce Gabbana.
Dolce Gabbana.
Yeah, hi. Sorry. But for people, it is important even having one Gucci bag. You know,
Same.
it's a thing.
And the belt. The designer belt.
It's a thing for them. They
It's
want
true.
to have it.
And it's almost like there is a kind of pattern. Like you can tell an Italian woman, they'll have the Pandora bracelet.
Yeah.
They'll have multiple bracelets on the wrist.
We are assimilated. Look at us.
They'll have their nails done. They'll have like a designer belt, a designer handbag, real or fake. It depends on the person. It's almost like a uniform for Italian women.
Absolutely. And if you look at the teenagers, they look all the same.
Yeah. And I miss this because in the UK there is a sense of individuality. Like you can go to certain parts of the UK like Brighton, London, and people dress as they want, vintage clothes, different looks. But here it feels like everybody is like a carbon clone of one another.
Yeah, which is sad actually. Like we need some individuality and like have a personal taste a little bit.
Definitely.
We don't need the same clothes.
I have to be honest, that this doesn't stress me out a lot, this sector, because I don't like to look like everybody else. Like I'm quite sustainable because I don't kind of change my clothes that often unless I really need to, or I see something I like. And I prefer to be unique with how I look. So for me, at the beginning, maybe I was a bit stressed because I felt inferior, but then I learnt appearances can be deceptive. So for me, maybe this is like a 4 out of 10 maybe.
Okay.
Because I don't feel the pressure to look a certain way. I am who I am. That's it.
Me too, totally. Like maybe at first I thought that I was underdressed for some occasions, maybe. But now that I have this mindset after 5 years, I am totally okay with what I wear, and I don't wear what for the other people. I don't wear the things that I wear to show off. So even I could give like 3 out of 10. I'm super comfortable with it. I don't care about anything. Cost of living, Claire, what do you think?
Okay, well, I think the cost of living here in South Italy is relative because people don't generally earn a very high salary here. But if I compare it to London, oh my God, it's so much better here. Like in every respect. Renting, buying homes, food, cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I know it's so much more expensive in the UK. Wine is so much cheaper here. So for this, no, definitely. I think there is a huge difference. What about you?
No, me too. I think the same. Even though when you ask to an Italian person, like, how is the economy going? They say like, oh, it's so expensive to live here. I don't agree because they say this because they haven't seen the worst, you know? Yeah. If I need to compare with Turkey, at the moment, I'm no expert at the moment. I don't know really. But I know that the economy is so bad, the inflation and so on. So if I need to compare Italy to Turkey, in Italy, we feel okay, but it's not more than 50 cents or 70 cents. You know, it's not that much to feel in daily life. But other than that, I feel super comfortable to live in, and for what we eat, the quality and the price
Yeah.
is totally fine for me. So I would say that it doesn't stress me out that much. I would give like 2 maximum, you know?
Yeah, I'd probably even take it down to 1, because for me personally, because coming from London to here, it's like a dream. I remember the first time I saw a bottle of wine here for like €3 in the supermarket. And if you ever found a wine that cheap in the UK, it's going to taste like vinegar. It's going to be
How
disgusting.
much is it in
Oh my
England?
God, easy, like £7, £8, £9, £10 a bottle, easy. And they're not even the best bottles either. So for me to find like a €3 bottle of wine and it be fairly average and decent really took me by surprise. So
Perfect.
1 out of 10 for me.
Oh my God!
I'm super happy for the cost of living here, definitely. Okay, is it my turn?
Yes, it's your
Okay,
turn.
let's do this one. Oh, hand air mentality.
Oh, Mama, may I see it?
Please tell me what you think.
Oh my God, it's different. For example, people think that everything, I'm speaking about South Italy, of course, that it's everything slow.
Doppeldomani.
Yes.
Doppeldomani,
Yes,
right?
procrastination is the top
Yes.
here. Like
Yes.
it's the most normal thing that we
Yeah.
can ever experience here. There's something to do. Okay, let's wait for the last moment to do it.
Why rush? Why think about it today, tomorrow?
Yeah, let's relax
Next
today.
week.
I don't know if it is good or not. I don't think it's that good, because if I finish what I need to do tomorrow, then I can feel relaxed. I don't understand why Italian people are so slow.
No, I don't know. It's a strange mentality for me personally, coming from the UK, because I like to get things done. I like to, if I have something to do, I want to set a deadline and it be, okay, by this date something's going to be finished. But here, a deadline is never fixed in stone. If you say you're going to finish a job at this point, it's probably going to finish 2 weeks later. It's like if you set an appointment to go somewhere, you can be sure that people are going to be at least 10 minutes late.
Absolutely.
given.
Yes, it's definitely like I told you that I need to renew my permit. When I call them to make an appointment, they will tell me to come after 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't understand this mentality. But also, I would say it's like the mentality to speak up about things.
Oh,
as well.
yeah.
There is definitely, in my opinion, a passiveness here in Italy. Like, people don't speak
Everywhere.
up. Yeah, as much about things. When there are injustices, when there is bad customer service, people stay silent. But silence is complicity. It's agreeing with the situation.
Absolutely.
And this I don't understand.
And like this, nothing changes, you know,
No.
because everybody is silent.
Yep.
Because they talk each other. They
Yep.
say that this doesn't work,
Yep.
they complain and so on, but they never go to the responsible one to change, to resolve the situation, resolve the problem actually. You can see it at work. People complain. They don't go to boss to talk about their problem. You can see it in the restaurant.
Yeah, I've had it as well. Like, I was in a restaurant in Salerno one time and the service was incredibly slow. And literally, like, we were onto our first course by the time this table next to us had their order taken. So they were waiting a very long time. They were unhappy. They were complaining to each other. And then when the waiter came, yes, we'll have this and this. But why don't you say something?
I don't know.
Like, I would
can't
be the first to
understand.
say, but excuse me, it's normal. I have to wait 20 minutes to have my order taken.
Right?
But people here speak with their feet, not with their mouths. They don't return to places, but they don't think that
Passive-aggressive.
Passive-aggressive, yes.
Yeah.
But by doing this, it's a problem, because if you don't return somewhere, you don't help that business to improve. It never understands what it did wrong.
Because people keep going there. I mean, nothing changes for them. You just don't go there.
But also, like, you know, rather than starving a business off its customers, why not try to help them and say, you know, next time maybe you could be quicker. Next time, don't serve a flat spritz, which has happened to me a lot of times here. Like, help that business to improve rather than starve it of custom and not deal with it at the time, you know?
Yeah, totally.
No, I struggle a lot with the mentality here. It's a totally different way of thinking about things.
Me too. Sometimes me too. Especially when you need to go out, meet someone, you tell them to meet at 9 o'clock and they show up at 10 o'clock, which is totally normal, and you are in the wrong because you waited 1 hour.
Yeah.
You know, you just need to go there at 10 p.m. because this is the mentality. Being late is just normal.
But also tied into this, and this goes back to the bureaucracy that we've been talking about already, but like, the mentality is like, if something doesn't work in the system of bureaucracy, it's your problem.
Yes.
It's not theirs. No. It's not our fault. Yes, we told you we speak to this office, but if we don't speak to them, it becomes your problem.
Yes, it's just this. You know, it's like almost putting the responsibility on somebody else's shoulders.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Nobody takes the responsibility. You.
Yes, it's your fault.
You.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't have this. It's because of you. Oh, but our organisation doesn't work. Oh, it's your problem.
Yeah.
It's incredible. For me, mentality is a big problem for me. Like 9 out of 10, I would say. I struggle a lot in terms of stress with this because I feel sometimes I come from a different planet.
Me
when I'm dealing with
too. I
things
have
here.
to say the truth. Yeah.
And I feel like I'm pedantic to people here because I'm very precise. I know that you're the same. And it's like, sometimes I feel like I drive people crazy here.
Yeah, people think we are heavy people.
Yeah, pedantic.
But no, they are heavy ones.
Yes, and I prefer to be this way because trust me, outside of Italy, this kind of mentality doesn't help you in life. So for this, no. 9 out of 10 for me. What about you?
Me too. Definitely, we need some organization in our life. You know,
Yes.
we would like to know what's next. So
Yes.
9 out of 10. I'm sorry.
There you are. Your turn.
Okay, let's go. Weather. Oh, weather. So, well, it depends on the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
In summer, this last summer that we just went through, I mean, it was really difficult for us. I don't know why. It's not the first summer that we experienced here, but last summer we were really literally on survival mode.
Yeah.
It was impossible to go out just to breathe. No, we couldn't do anything during the daylight.
No. It was just super humid, super hot, and it was just hard to find the energy to do anything. And I think, you know, people come here on holiday and they're like, oh, the weather's beautiful. Okay, that's fine for 2 weeks, but try living here, having to go to work, having to clean your house, having to do your normal tasks with like 40-degree temperatures. It's super difficult.
Yeah, the humidity makes it more difficult.
Yeah, it does.
We need AC in every room in your house. You need AC to survive, just to survive, you know?
Yes.
Not to do anything special.
Yes, exactly. It's hard. And I think as well, like for me as well, I struggle with not having a change of season. Like in Sicily, this is more a Sicily thing because I know in the north of Italy, they do feel the difference in seasons a bit more. But like we are October, near enough. And it feels like late summer. And it won't feel like autumn here until, in fact, we don't even feel, we go literally from late summer to winter.
Yeah.
And that's like December, January time. So we miss the entire season of autumn.
Unfortunately, yeah. Even on Christmas, I remember last year, I've seen on the newspaper that there were people having a bath in Mondello Beach.
Yeah.
So it's that crazy here.
Yeah.
Even in December, you kind of feel mild, even hot.
Yeah.
To have a bath in the sea.
Yeah.
It's not that nice, but it's okay.
I mean, I must admit, like, I love the fact it doesn't rain here every day. Like the grey skies in London, they're very depressing. It does affect your mood. But I think the summers are very difficult for me here. So I'm going to give this, in terms of stress for the weather, in the summer, it's like an 8 out of 10. The rest of the year, maybe like a 5 out of 10 because I miss the change in seasons a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna give 7 out of 10 because I like hot weather. I appreciate it as well. Not when it is super, super hot as it is in August here. I cannot live alive. But rest of the year, the thunderstorms, rain, the cold, the humid rain that I have didn't experience in my hometown. That is a dry cold.
Yeah.
Like when it is -10, it's very cold, yeah, right? But here in Sicily, when it is 5 degrees, it still feels colder than dry cold that I had in my hometown because it is humid cold, which I enjoy. So I'm just gonna give 7 out of 10.
There
just
we
because
are.
of summer.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes.
Do I have the last one?
Yes,
oh,
you do.
I've got the last one. Okay. Food.
Oh my God, it's the best!
We finish on a high note. This is fabulous. Okay, so for me, food does not stress me at all. The only thing that stresses me out is not being able to cook Italian food as well as I would like to.
But you could, I mean.
I can, but I feel like I butcher every single dish, but I try. But I love the food here. The quality, the price, the passion that people have for cooking here is beautiful.
Yes, you are just lucky that you have an Italian boyfriend
Yes.
who cooks.
Yes, it's true.
Yes.
It's true. It's
So,
true.
yeah, I couldn't complain either. I mean, it's
No.
just delicious.
It's amazing.
Good food every
Maybe
day.
the only thing though is the quantity of food. You do have to prepare yourself for the quantity of food here.
Maybe, yeah. Especially Sunday lunch with family. Like when you have a special occasion, you have the starter, first course, second course,
yes.
dessert.
You know, the first Italian words I learned here, sono sazia. I'm full up, is what it means, right? Because literally I would eat my first plate and be like, oh, that's lovely, thanks. They'd be like, no, that's just the beginning. Like, I'm not used to this in the UK. We don't eat these, you know, lots and lots of plates and courses. Like, we have maybe 3 courses, starter, main course, dessert, maybe antipasti, depending on the restaurant. But here the food is very extreme in terms of quantity.
Yeah, they are used to. It's just us that our bodies are not used to this. Other than that, it's nice. I mean, having a moment with family. It's their occasion to spend time with family. It's a part of the culture here. But they eat a lot, I would say so.
A lot. And the pasta every day.
Oh my God, I can't. Personally, I can't. Like, I like pasta so much, even though I think that their condiment with pasta is super healthy.
It is.
They use vegetables, meat, like they mix.
Olive oil.
Yeah, it's super healthy to eat. But it's just my body that I can't.
See, I must admit, I do eat pasta every day, and I've been quite lucky in terms of not ending up really, really fat because of this. But also I think, like, we were brought up in our culture to believe that, like, pasta every day is a really bad thing. Like, maybe in our culture we would have pasta once or twice a week. But I think it ties into what you say. Here they cook it with really healthy ingredients. In the UK we have jars of processed sauce. Of course, it's not the same experience. It's not going to be healthy for you if that's how you eat pasta.
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Of course, also Italian people, they measure it. Like when you go to a family house, the question that you're going to hear is going to be, how much pasta do you want? 80, 100 usually people take, because this is the healthy average pasta that people eat. But yeah, they eat every day pasta, which is interesting for me because I don't.
Yeah, it's different. But I think you kind of find your way here. So for me, like, food, it's not a stress. I'm gonna say a 2 out of 10, only because I want to get better at cooking here, because I feel once I master that, I will really appreciate food so much more. So, but only for this, because everything else is a dream here.
Totally. I mean, I'm gonna give 1 out of 10 because it's just something comforting, that it's something that you do in a day to enjoy here. So it's just 1 out of 10. It's totally fine.
There we are.
Okay guys, so that was it. If you liked our video, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to leave us a comment down below, and remember to check Claire's channel
and subscribe to Candid.
And that's it. So see you in the next video. Ciao.